So this is going to be Unit 5, where it's titled Linear Relationships. So we're going to figure out the relationship between graphs, situations, and tables, as well as equations in linear graphs or linear relationships. The first thing we're going to cover is proportionality or non-proportionality. So if you look at the definition over here, if a relationship is nonlinear, it is non-proportional, meaning if it does not form a straight line, then it is going to be non-proportional. So if I have a graph that looks like this, it does not create a straight line, so therefore it is considered nonlinear. So because it's nonlinear, it's non-proportional. If it is linear, it may be either proportional or non-proportional. When the graph of the linear relationship contains the origin, then the relationship is proportional, meaning if it goes through that point 0, 0, then a graph is considered proportional. Now, let's take a look at our notes. A graph is considered linear when it forms a straight line. Next, a graph cannot be considered proportional if it is not linear. Alright, so once again, it has to be a straight line. In order for a graph to be proportional, it needs to go through the origin at coordinate of course 0, 0. Lastly, in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, the value of b needs to be 0 in order for the graph to be considered proportional. Okay, so I have a couple of examples here. This is a proportional example. The reason being is because it goes through the point 0, 0 and it's linear. Okay, so is it proportional? Yes, it certainly is. Now, let's figure out what the slope is. So let's say the slope is the rise over the run. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put rise and then I'm going to put run. So how much is it going up? It goes from 1.2 to 2.4. So it's going up 1.2. Alright, next we have to consider how much it's going across. It goes from here to here, so it goes from 20 to 40. So 20 minus 40 is equal to 20. So my slope right now is going to be 1.2 divided by 20, which is going to be equal to 0.06. Alright? If you pick any 2 points, you're going to see that that slope is consistent throughout the entire graph. So this is equal to the slope. Lastly, what is my y-intercept? The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Keep in mind that this is the y-axis. It crosses the y-axis at 0. Okay? So, this is it proportional? Yes. What's the y-intercept? 0. What's my slope? My slope is 0.06. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this example. It says non-proportional. As you can see, it is non-proportional. The reason why is because it's not going through the origin. Okay? So this is going to be no. I'm going to go ahead now and take 2 points. Any 2 points, it doesn't really matter. I go up 1. So let's do rise over run. I go up 1, and then I go across 1. Alright? So what is my slope? My slope is equal to 1. What is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is going to be equal to 1 here. Okay? So, is it proportional? No. What's my slope? 1. What is the y-intercept? 1. Alright, now, let's move on to the next one. Is this proportional? Yes, it is. It's going through the origin. Alright, now, let's figure out what our slope is. So this is going to be rise over run. Now, I'm going to start from 0. And then I'm going to go up 1.2, so it's going to be 1.2. Oh, I just noticed it's the same example. So we're good. We're going to go ahead and move on. Alright? Okay, now determine if each of the following represents proportional or non-proportional. So is this proportional? No. As you can see, it's not going through the origin. Is this proportional? Yes. It is going through the origin and it's linear. Is this proportional? Yes. It's going through the origin and it's linear. And is this proportional? No. Alright? It's not going through the origin. It's going through 6. Now, let's figure out our b value, which is our y-intercept. Our b value here is 1. Our b value here is 0. B value here is 0. And our b value here is equal to 6. Now, let's figure out our slope. So it's going to be rise over run. also known as m. Alright, so I start here at 1, and I'm going to go up 2, so 2, and then I go across 2, 2. So my slope is 1. Alright, once again, m is equal to rise over run. So I'm going to start at 0, and then I'm going to go to this point. I go up 2, because it's 4 right there, so I go up 2, and then I go across 8, 8. So my slope is 1/4. Alright, next, m equals, once again, this is my rise over my run, how much I go up versus how much I go across. I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to go up 5, because in between 0 and 10 is 5, and then I go across 1. So my slope is equal to 5. Once again, m is equal to rise over run. So then I go up, I'm going to pick this point and this point. So I go up 1, 2. So it's from 6 to 12, so the difference is 6. And then I go across 1, 2. It's going from 0 to 6, so the difference once again is 6. So this is going to be equal to 1. Alright, so that's basically it for the first part, proportional versus non-proportional, and how to find the y-intercept as well as the slope.